And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of OA News Overtime. I'm Jordan Hill with Justin Lee.
Jordan.
Justin, we are in a new era.
We're in some oppressive heat.
Yeah, that too. And a new frontier.
And a new frontier.
A world of which we've never seen before.
Right.
I don't know if you've been able to grapple with the last, I guess as we're recording, 6 days.
Right.
But it's a new era of college athletics, baby.
That's why it's so hot outside.
Yeah.
Because the fires of hell just embrace us all.
Highway to NIL, as you said before we started recording.
The world engulfs further into flames and darkness every time an athlete makes $1, Jordan.
Every time a player gets on yoke and streams a video game, we stray further and further from God's light.
I don't think anyone's done that yet.
Probably not. If you haven't been keeping up, then you apparently have not been following college athletics for the last 6 days.
The amateur apocalypse
is upon us.
The end of times.
The end of times.
College sports will never be the same.
You are not correct, but I'm just going to let you play into that. Name, image, and likeness laws and NCAA's rules have come into effect. So you've got college athletes across the board and various sports signing endorsement deals and taking opportunities to make money, making their own logos, as we've seen with several Auburn athletes. It's been a lot of different things going on, and that very first day was very interesting because, as we talked about when we recorded the podcast last week, we had no idea what to expect.
Right.
And then you had guys like Bo Nix who at 12:02, kudos to Bo Nix. I mean, he knew, he had that lined up and got on it.
Go to bed.
Yeah, come on, Bo. I mean, you're not going to drink a tea to stay up late.
Yeah, there's caffeine in that, Bo.
Yeah, come on. But yeah, guys and gals were jumping on and signing deals, and we saw a little bit, but I still think on the whole it wasn't anything too crazy. What were your takeaways from what we've seen over what's been the first week of NIL being in action and allowing these athletes to make a little money?
Do you think Bo, just knowing who he is and just knowing his kind of sense of purpose as a quarterback, do you think he wanted to be first, to break the ice?
I mean, I could see it.
If people were going to be nervous or embarrassed or confused as to what this is going to be, Bo could just be like, hey, this is what it is.
I don't know if that's necessarily why he was one of the first, because I think you do see, he's the quarterback, he's the quote-unquote face of the team, because that's what your quarterback's going to be. I mean, but there might have been a little bit of that, and, we don't know. There could have been conversations between him and some of his teammates. Hey, man, what are you hearing?
Sure.
What do you think it's going to look like for you? So I don't know necessarily if it was like a strategic, I'm going to go first and everybody can look at me. But, I mean, it might have very well showed some of the guys what they could expect.
I mean, it was a brilliant move by Milo's.
Yes.
Because every media outlet in the state covered it.
Exactly. And who turned around and signed, was it Malachi Moore from Alabama?
Yeah.
They wound up signing. So, I mean, they got on both sides of the iron bowl.
Do you think they jumped on him like that morning?
I think there had to have been a deal right away that was like, we're going to get an Auburn guy and we're going to get an Alabama guy.
Because why didn't he post at midnight? That's why I'm like
I think they
conspiracist.
I think that they were like, let's space this out. Let's get a little more bang for our proverbial buck. You know what I mean? But I think that makes
teach you that in marketing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Is that what you call it? I was about to say advertising school.
I was gonna say Terry College at Georgia. I didn't take any classes there, so I can't really speak on that. But I think that would be my guess. They're like, look, between one or the other, you post first and we're going to wait.
Sure.
And it would make sense. You get the quarterback out there. And, again, like you said, everybody wrote about it. We wrote about it. All the outlets wrote about Bo signing that deal.
Right. This was my main takeaway. And we're a week into this now. And my main thing is, with all of these things, and it's not what everybody feared, because with all of these things, I just keep going back to, it takes a little bit of work. Like, Milo's had to be clever enough to be the first one, because else it wouldn't have mattered. Like, if Red Diamond does a thing with TJ Finley tomorrow, probably not. Well, we probably would write about it, because that would be two quarterbacks with rival companies, which would be funny. But, you know what I mean? Like, there were winners and losers, like there always are, right? Like, somebody did it more clever than someone else. Someone put a little more work into it than someone else. And, that's how you win this thing. It still takes work. It still takes effort. It still takes being the smartest about it, being the most dedicated to it. And that's the thing. And I think I put in my column, it's like, this is summer job money, not pro athlete money. And that's part of it, is like, you still have to work to earn it. You still have to earn it in a lot of cases. Like there's might be some stuff, like there's some sketchy stuff going on with Miami. Everyone's like, whatever. But like, you know what I mean?
Miami's gonna Miami.
Yeah,
you
whatever.
know.
Like we'll see how that works and how long that money lasts before it dries up. But it's for the most part, it's just working to earn it, which is how everything has always been, right? Because it's like, okay, cool, now you can sell a shirt. It doesn't mean you're gonna sell 100,000 shirts.
Yeah.
It means you got to come up with a cool logo, and a couple hundred people might buy it.
Yeah. I agree.
If it's cool enough.
And I think the one thing, the one product or the one sort of plus from all this that really stands out to me was what Owen Papo tweeted out, where they're putting on camps. I think there's one in Montgomery. Is there one in Birmingham? There's a couple different locations. I know one's in Montgomery.
Maybe.
But, Owen's going to be involved. Sean Chivers, Smoke Monday, TJ Finley are going to go help out. And, like, how cool is that they can put on these youth camps, but they're going to be working. They're going to be out there working these kids.
Yeah, and that's what we had talked about, But, I mean, they're going to be out there in the sun, you know what I mean? And they get paid for a couple hours of work. Like, that's how it is. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the thing that, should have been allowed this whole time. That's the thing that no one wanted to talk about or think about. But, I mean, like we said, I keep using the example of, hey, man, give your 8-year-old swimming lessons with an Auburn swimmer.
Yeah.
Well, why the heck not?
Well, think about, as long as we've been working here, we've always run, like, local briefs where a coach has done that. Well, now some of those swimmers can do it, too.
Yeah.
And can do it, I'm sure, just as well as some of the coaches.
Yeah. Opelika Baseball has a camp going on.
Yeah, check it out, folks. Auburn High's got a camp coming out.
Read about it on the scoreboard
edition.
page.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to fill a little content over there. Springwood's got mini camps. Their coaches texted me about the other day.
We'll get that in there.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, by and large, I felt like what we expected a little bit.
Yeah. What has stood out to you, if anything, from any of the either endorsement deals or products you've seen come out? Because so far of the things that are of local interest to us, I think the thing that I've really enjoyed, one is Tank Bigsby's logo that looks like a tank. It's a little busy looking, but I mean, it's pretty cool.
Sure.
And then Justin Ross over there in Phoenix City's selling shirts that's got his likeness on it.
Those are cool.
No Clemson logo, but orange, kind of the like knockoff, like wink wink. This is Team Orange here.
Right.
But it's got him and got his signature on it. Like if you're like, I guarantee you, if we go to Central games this fall, we're probably going to see some people in the stands wearing those shirts.
Maybe
because Justin Ross is a big deal in Phoenix City, and that's just so cool. And I know Sean Chivers too, I think, is launching some merchandise too.
Right.
So have any of those deals kind of stood out or anything?
But like we had seen, like Flash made his little shirt.
Yeah.
Right after he graduated. You could always do this after you graduated.
Exactly.
Now the only thing is you can just do it before you graduate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I think, was it 500 level? They do a lot of those. So, I mean, like.
I know that.
Dude, Nick Marshall made one and I bought one. Because it's
I'll be honest.
Shirt.
I'll be honest. I was tempted to buy one of Justin Ross's. This is like with the player's trunk, I think, is the name of it.
It had 41 because he was a defensive back instead of a quarterback.
Got it.
I was like, the shirt's awesome. I'm buying this. But yeah, it was kind of like Flash's short shirt with like little drawing or rendering of a player on it. You know what I mean? I guess with it's pretty easy to make the Browns uniform legally distinct. Because there's no markings anyway.
It's just the color.
Yeah.
It's like kind of.
This is an orange helmet and a gray face mask, and these are brown numbers, legally distinct from the Cleveland Browns.
Got him again.
I was talking about that with my dad, because my dad was like, "What does this mean?" Like whatever. And so like I pulled up the picture of Bo with his thing, and I was like, "You know how Nick Saban is in the Aflac commercials, and he's wearing blue." Because he can't wear crimson because it's not Alabama. It's not an Alabama commercial. It's a Nick Saban commercial. That's basically what this is. So the players, if these companies find them valuable enough, they can do stuff like that. Like we said, can't put the logo on there. Although, like, you can apparently come up with the contracts to put it together. Like LSU has that in their guidelines. We haven't seen that yet. I don't know if we ever will. To be honest with you, I mean that might just be for the Trevors and the John Walls, like we talk about. But yeah, I mean that's kind of that's how it is for the 99%. And you talk about what's the coolest thing. The coolest thing for me was I wrote a story about Darion making her signature Leo for younger gymnasts, and it's the Darion Go Born line, and she designed it. I'm like, how cool is that? She made her own thing. We don't know how many, maybe a dozen or two she's going to sell, but how cool is that?
Yeah.
That this is a project that she's working on as a college student. You know what I mean? God forbid. What?
And who
The
knows?
end times are upon us, Jordan. Amateurism is dead. It's all pro sports now.
And who knows?
Grief.
That could be something that Darian decides to keep doing.
Yeah.
Once she's done,
Right.
competing for Auburn. So I think that one in particular was
Right.
really, really neat to see.
And they had done signature lines with other gymnasts who were done with college.
Yeah.
It's the NCAA eligibility. None of this is illegal. It's just NCAA eligibility is the only problem.
Yes.
And so people who were done with school can do whatever they want, and now finally, run it by compliance, and college kids can do it too.
For sure.
And I mean, it's long overdue. I feel like, and I think hopefully most people are realizing that it's gonna be a lot smaller scale than people thought.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a little bit of summer job money for some of these kids.
I agree, which I think those guys and gals definitely deserve. And it'll
Right.
be interesting to see what we see even going into the summer. And
Right.
Beyond that, I know Nick Brahms was kind of hinting at some kind of barbecue deal or something. I don't know if he was just kind of, coyly talking about that, or if there's something in the works. And then coyly, if something's going to happen there, if he's
Sure.
going to get one of those deals.
The group endorsements makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes, I agree.
Like the whole O-line.
Yeah, Arkansas, I think, signed a deal for like the barbecue, barbecue
with the
joint
big boys
out there.
on the O-line.
I
The
mean,
groups make sense to me. I think the groups are a good idea.
The thing I really want to see, and I don't know, I know North Carolina has talked about this, but Auburn, coming up with the actual like jerseys for the past players, like actually having like Cadillac Williams' name on the back of a.
Sure. I feel like they could have always done that though, but maybe not.
They never did. I know it was a big deal when Todd Gurley got in trouble at Georgia because the
Sure.
bookstore was full of number 4 jerseys and
Right, of course.
or what I think he was number 3 actually.
Whatever.
I'm gonna get ridiculed for not remembering my Georgia history, but anyway, they can actually put it. They can actually put his last name on it rather than just say,
Right.
"Oh, wink, wink." I
Right.
wonder who that is.
I feel like that's one of those things where the school licensing and the athletes would come up with some kind of agreement.
Yeah.
And again, I think that would affect the John Walls, the Lonzos, the Zions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not so much the LaMelo,
Yeah.
Lonzo.
Wow. The shade.
Yeah,
being
he was
thrown.
number 3.
Yeah, 3. 4 was I think Keith Marshall. So
Okay.
it's getting them mixed
Okay.
up. But that's what I want to see because I've always I always like seeing and actually having that last name rather than you being like, come on, because you're like, what year is this jersey? This could be a number of different players,
Right.
and you're like,
All those Aaron Savage number 2 jerseys at Auburn games. We know who those are.
yeah, everybody can read between the lines there.
Grief. So, but by and large, I think it's mostly what we expected. A lot of small time stuff, and maybe we still haven't seen the big groundbreaking deal like Derek King. He had like 3 deals that looks like quite a bit of work, honestly, and for about $20,000.
Yeah.
Which is significant.
Yeah.
You can get a pretty good start on a nice car for him.
Yes.
But it's not life-changing money.
No.
It's not $500,000.
It's very nice,
Yeah.
but it's not.
It's not $500,000,
No.
not $1 million.
No.
So I don't know when that'll happen. I don't know where we'll see that. I don't know what superstar that's going to be. I don't think that superstar is in college football right now, or for college basketball for that matter.
Yeah.
But the next one, I mean, like we say, it's going to be a lot like with SUNY, where it's like, hey, SUNY doesn't have to choose anymore between going to Auburn or being on the Wheaties box. She could do both. And for a lot of these, pro athletes or these soon-to-be pro athletes, these guys who are league ready, but they're just waiting to be 19 for the NBA or whatever. We've had some of them go overseas instead and all that. Now it's like, hey, they can go to college and not completely waste their time.
Yeah.
They can go ahead and sign with Adidas and then also go to school for a year.
Yep.
Like, why not? So
Yeah.
that I think that'll be in that way big for college sports.
Yeah. I mean.
And I mean, maybe the rich do get richer. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I think the most clever programs are the ones that are going to win. So in that way, maybe college sports is hurt. But in general, I think college sports is going to be better for it.
I agree. I agree, and I don't think we'll see that much of a shift in what athletes are going where, and what schools are getting the big gains with the athletes that are coming in. But
right, because there's going to be small schools like UCF who's all about it, right?
Yeah.
More people might go there, be the biggest star in Orlando. You know what I mean?
Get that spaceship money, baby. That's what I do.
Put my Instagram handle on my name on my black plate for the spring game.
Yeah, and just have a big old time if you ask me. So, any other NLI, or actually NIL? I mixed that up multiple times.
Speaking of NLIs, Jordan.
Yes, Auburn is expecting one come December. What a transition! I did that on purpose for sure. He definitely didn't set that one up for me. Auburn got a commit for the first time since I think
you're nuts.
February.
A long time.
Yeah, it's been several months. Alex McPherson, the number 1 kicker in the nation.
Yeah.
3-star by 247. 5-star by Cole's camp kicking performance.
All right.
Probably would give him 6 stars, really, if they could. But
they don't want to break the laws of physics.
Yeah, exactly. Truth be told, though, this is Alex McPherson is considered the top kicker in the nation.
You get khaki pants for $18.
Yes, absolutely. Go to Kohl's, support your local specialist, and look nice while doing it.
Yeah.
McPherson is considered.
So it's like, hey, he's a kicker, but he's the best kicker.
He's the best kicker.
All
if you are going to get a kicker, get this guy.
Right.
I was looking at some of his numbers because he's an in-state guy. He plays at Fort Payne. He was 10 of 16 on field goals last year, but I believe 5 of those field goals were from 55 yards or longer.
Sure.
He hit a field goal of 56 yards. Excellent with extra points, excellent with kickoffs. To everything I've seen, he seems like the real deal. And when you got Anders with only, you would think one more year, I guess he could potentially use his COVID year.
Sure.
But Anders could be moving on after this football season.
Yeah, about time for him to go get paid to kick that ball.
Go get that money with his brother, Daniel.
Yep.
Seems like a great fit, and seems like the guy that you would want to feel good about special teams and sort of where Auburn can go going forward.
Sure. Yeah. So, all right, Jordan, I'm going to hold you to the kills.
Great. I already mixed up NLI and NIL, so we're off to a good start.
4 commits, right?
Yep.
Holden, the Opelika kid, the Auburn kid, kicker.
Correct.
When does this staff have to pick it up a little bit?
I would say, in my estimation, if we go through the next month and there is not another commit.
Alabama has 9, Georgia has 11. A little context.
I think if by mid-August we have not seen some kind of move in the right direction, you can go, what are we laughing at?
Oh, gosh. 10 of these Georgia kids are 4 stars.
And all of Auburn's at this point are 3. Is Holden still a 3-star?
Holden might be a 4, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And obviously some of those ratings will change. So I mean.
And Alabama has 8, and all but 1 are 4 or above.
And I know, go look at South Carolina, which also has a first-year head coach. They have like 15. They have I don't know the quality of those commits. But
even Diamond was telling me Vanderbilt has like 14 commits.
Yeah, I mean Clark Lee, man, he's changing the culture over there in Nashville.
Oh, I'm sure. Now those are poachable commits.
Yeah, I would say
which is
so.
a little different.
I would say you are correct.
But
what do you think as far as when's the time to kind of go? Because I would think right before the season gets started, if they have not made some kind of tangible progress with adding at least a few guys that you go, oh, okay, that's a pretty significant pickup. I still think it's too early to kind of freak out, but like I'd say over the next month or really probably month and a half if we haven't seen some of these guys, which we're kind of getting to the point where we're seeing more of these targets start committing. As we record this, I know that there's a tight end that's going to commit tonight. Not sure if he's going to commit to Auburn. I know Auburn's in the mix.
Sure.
They missed out on a cornerback, Miles Pollard, who is actually the cousin of Caden Story over at Lynette.
Where's he go to school?
He's from Tennessee. His dad is was it Dwight? What's the guy's name? Dwight Pollard. He was the guy that played in the NFL.
Okay, all right.
He was the tight end. He committed to Michigan.
South Carolina's got 14 commits.
Yeah, exactly. So that's another first-year coach.
Sheesh.
So
yeah, it's not good.
But this is the time where you're starting to see more guys, more kids decide they're going to commit.
Sure.
And this is the time you got to start picking up on guys.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to take dudes, man. You're not going to. You know what I mean? Like this crap might have worked at Boise where you get a bunch of 3-stars that fit your system and you develop them or whatever. It's not going to fly against Alabama or Georgia. That's a losing idea. It's a losing plan. And I don't know if that is his plan. It better not be because it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You can't beat Alabama. You need dudes to beat Georgia and Alabama, period.
Yeah.
You have to have the dudes.
And I think that's the biggest thing.
I don't care what you develop, dude.
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
I mean, that's the thing. No matter what, going back to when he was hired, as much as we think, that he has proven himself as an offensive innovator and a guy that
Sure.
can make the most with, scheme and,
Right.
and putting guys in
What,
position,
what,
you got to have the players.
right. What you can't do is let what he may be good at is not letting stuff go to waste.
Exactly.
But you still got to get there in the beginning. You got to get the ingredients. So we'll see. But we don't know if that's the plan. We don't know what's going on. I think ultimately, I don't know what you can do. I mean, even if it's like, okay, here a month from now, camp started, you got 5 commits, and it's not looking great. I don't know what you do besides go through the year, and then, maybe it's time to look at some of those assistants and figure out who's helping and who's treading water. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Who's maybe a little bit lost down here because
Yep.
it's a different deal than the Mountain West. So
And that's the thing that he's going to learn. He'll figure it out right away who is able to successfully make that jump up and
Right.
who is not quite to the caliber that he needs, because it's
Right.
it's going to come down to the staff as much as it will be Harsin.
Right. So we'll see. Once again, hey man, honeymoon or hot seat. That's probably our headline going up to
much.
up to the Happy Valley. So yeah.
No doubt. I'll throw out there that it's actually Micah Pollard, not
Okay.
Miles Pollard. There is a Micah Pollard is Caden Story's cousin. He has not committed yet, but there is a Miles Pollard who
Okay.
I would assume probably no relation.
Sure.
He committed to Michigan. Micah has not committed anywhere yet, but he's a 3-star. So
Does Caden have a day yet or what?
Caden is going to commit August 1st, which
That's
is
right.
the day that Quay Houston passed away.
Right.
So,
Right.
So
right.
we're closing in on that, and
That'll be a special day for him.
for sure, and looking forward to covering that day, because that's going to mean a lot to Caden and also to his family, because they were really
For sure.
close with those guys.
Right.
And Caden's
Everybody up there, man. It's gonna be big for everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean all those Lynette kids are pretty much related, or
Yeah.
might as well be. They're all at each other's houses,
Yeah.
and that's been what's fun about covering some of the high school teams around here, especially Lynette.
Yeah.
They're always
One of them, I don't remember who. I'm sorry, but maybe Akbar or Abner. Sorry, what's that?
Akbar.
Abner.
Trey
Trevante,
Abner.
yeah.
Trey Abner.
He might have been him who said that. He's like, I'm gonna keep going playing football and going to school because Coy's mama told me to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean,
Yeah.
it's special to them and that whole crew. So that's gonna be special when Caden commits too.
For
And,
sure.
And you want to talk about a dude? That's a dude.
Dude, he's one of the guys I'm excited for high school football, because I mean, you want to
Yeah.
talk about a man amongst boys.
Yeah.
Caden can play, and I kind of want to see if they play him at quarterback a little. I don't think his
Hey, now.
I don't think his dad's gonna do it.
Get him back there.
But we
Depends on the score, brother.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Other than that, it's sort of the recruiting things going on, and again, we're going to keep our eye on these targets and seeing if Auburn's able to add to this class. Like we said, they've now got 4 commits. I'm still not exactly sure if they're going to offer a scholarship to McPherson or if it's a preferred walk-on deal. A lot of the times specialists
Sure.
don't get a scholarship, so I haven't seen if that's been reported one way or the other.
Yeah.
But that's 4 guys that they're at right now, and we'll keep a good handle on that and keep you up to date with what's coming there. Anything else on the recruiting side of things before we start to wrap this thing up?
No, I mean, pick it up.
You ain't got all day.
That's all I got.
You still got time, but you ain't.
Not all day.
It's the John Wooden don't hurry, but don't don't
Be
take
quick, but don't hurry.
Be quick, but don't hurry.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like
makes a
you
lot of
still got
sense.
time, but like, come on,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, before we end this episode, Justin.
Sure.
One of the videos that was going around on Twitter on Wednesday was a little trailer for the new Kurt Warner movie. Not Hold My Breath, and I don't think you really need to watch it. The throw in motion in the video is not great. But
What's he doing?
It's just
Is it about him?
Yeah, it's about Kurt's life. He was like it's like an underdog story.
Does he play in the Arena Football League?
Yeah, and he's stocking grocery shelves. I mean, it's the whole 9 yards. So it'll probably be playing on ABC Family for the next 20 years. But my question to you, Justin, if you could have a movie made about any athlete that hasn't already been made, who would it be?
Who is this playing
why?
him?
I don't know, but it looks rough. And really, the Dennis Quaid as Dick Vermeil is what puts it over the top for me. But
I can't find a trailer, but whatever.
what athlete would you want to see portrayed and had a movie made about their life?
How about The Rock?
I mean, we already got Young Rock.
We do have Young Rock, but Young Rock is not. No. And they'll probably make one eventually.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, I mean that'd be a good one because I mean I don't know what people know about the the early days with he's part of the U, man. He was there.
Yep.
He was there in the glory days. And then goes to wrestling and then the Hollywood. So I don't know. That'd be a good one. There's a lot. I bet there's a lot of stories to tell. There's a lot of ways you could make that one happen. So I guess if there had to be an athlete, yeah, it'd be that one.
There are two that kind of come to mind for me. One, it's sort of cheating, but there was a video, and it's probably been a few years ago now, of Jamie Foxx like painting the picture of his perfect Mike Tyson movie. I mean, he lays out like the opening scene, and I mean it is extremely detailed, and like I'm like, yes, like I will pay $20 to just listen to Jamie Foxx talk about this, much less see the movie.
Yeah.
Want to see that? The one I would really like to see made is Rube Waddell, who, if anyone doesn't know who Rube Waddell is, he was a pitcher in the early, era of baseball back when Cy Young was pitching. Was almost as good as Cy Young, but was also a crazy person.
Okay.
He would run out of the stadium and chase fire trucks like he was a dog. He would walk through the stands to go down when he was going to play, and he would drink people's beers and like fight people in the stands.
All right.
In the off season, he wrestled alligators. There's an excellent podcast episode of The Dollop. If no one has heard it, talking about Rube's life, it is insane. And again, he was one of the.
He enters like the Shield, like through the crowd.
Yes, and
like Sandman.
He was a great pitcher, but his off season exploits kind of caught up with him after a while, and that's why it's called the Cy Young Award and not the Rube Waddell Award. I mean,
that'd be another award.
That you might not want that award. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. But those are the two that come to mind for me.
Kurt Warner is played by Chuck.
Yep. Don't. I'm not holding my breath on seeing that one.
Dude, I want this Iowa Barnstormers action. That's what I'm into.
They've definitely got that in the trailer. So I think if you want to see that, I would maybe watch the trailer and then say, cool, we got what I wanted.
Yeah.
Let me know when it's direct to video.
This movie could be 4 minutes long. Here he is. Because it was the same story over and over, stocking groceries, which a lot of Americans do.
But like and Kurt worked with them on the film, and it's like, achieve your dreams. I'm an example of that, which is great. But I don't think it's going to be a very good movie. Like you've got like his wife that like appears to be like on the field, with him. Like I don't think that's a thing.
Well, yeah, that never happened.
They kind of did like a Blind Side, like Sandra Bullock's out there helping him or something.
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't look great. But yeah. We'll get ready to watch this movie.
When's the last good sports movie? Good grief, it's been a minute.
What has been the last good sports movie? Creed?
Yeah, I never watched Creed, unfortunately. Big Rocky fan. I gotta watch those.
I'd say Creed was probably got to be in the running for one of the last good ones.
There's two of them, right? Yeah.
Yes, there has been. So we're gonna go figure out what the next great sports movie is. We might sit over here and write it. But
sure.
Until then, we're going to wrap up this podcast episode. Again, for Justin Lee, I'm Jordan Hill.
Dennis Quaid.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And until next time, take care. Dennis Quaid. Please watch that.